was finally ready to leave Chicago, and now I'm stuck here forever.
And that's the thing about the city. Grabs a hold of you, never lets you go.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, it's your homie, Futuristic Mike, and I'm back with another The Chi video if you're new. Make sure y'all leave your theories, comments, everything down below in the comment section. If you're a fan of The Chi, if you love The Chi, hit the like on this video. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you can always see when I'm dropping some content so you never miss any of The Chi news. Now, this is going to be the recap for The Chi Season 3, Episode 8. The title to this episode was Frunchroom. Now, this episode is pretty much all about Keisha, and I mean all about Keisha the entire episode. It didn't even show outside the house. So the entire episode was inside Keisha, you know, the Williams house. It showed how she was coping with everything that happened. It showed how she was actually dealing with everything, man. We got to see how Keisha is dealing with the traumatic experience that she dealt with. Throughout this season, we've seen glimpses of Keisha here and there. We've seen her with her captor or whatever, but we never actually got to spend enough time with Keisha to see how she actually felt during the situation. I mean, we know that she wanted to take her own life, so it must have been that bad. But now in this episode, we finally see how bad it actually was, because man, was she going through it in this episode, let me tell you. But this is going to be the recap. Before we dive into it, if you guys enjoy discussions like this, please be sure to give the video a like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you can never miss any other uploads. Now, the episode starts with Nina, Dre, and Keisha. You know, they're coming home. She's going into her room, and Dre is just like, if something ain't the way it was because we straightened up in here before you came back home. You know, she's just standing there, and she's staring around. And Nina tries to touch Keisha, and she just doesn't want anybody to touch her, man. She doesn't want to be bothered, so she pulls away. That just proves that this dude really messed her up, man. She don't want her own family to even touch her. So then next they leave the room, and it shows Keisha. She closes the door, and she puts a chair underneath the doorknob so nobody can get in, and then she sits on the floor with a pair of scissors, man, and she is just ready for somebody to come in there. She's just ready to mess somebody up. So then we get to Nina and Dre. They're sitting on the couch. Dre asks Nina how Keisha's doing, and Nina's just like, you know, she hasn't come out of her room yet. And this is supposed to be 3 days later. It said it was 3 days after she first got home or whatever. So then next we get to Keisha. You know, she's trying to get in the bathroom. Kevin's in there hogging the bathroom. Kevin's like, hold on a minute, dang, I just got in here. And then she finally gets in the bathroom, and she just turns the shower on. She's making it seem like she's taking a shower, but she's really not, and she's just sitting in there. And this is just sad, man. Like, she don't even want to take a shower. She's that messed up. So then we get to Kevin, Nina, and Dre outside the bathroom. They're just standing there, and Kevin's like, I'm finna go live with Papa and Jake. He feels like Nina's being a certain way towards him since Keisha's home. You know, she just wants to keep her kids safe. She wants to make sure that none of her kids go missing anymore. And you know, Kevin is just being real stubborn in this episode, man. He's acting a certain way, and I really wasn't feeling how he was acting in this episode, but everybody copes differently. You know, his sister just got home. Instead of going to comfort her, he's handling it in his own way. You can tell he's hurting, but he's going about it the wrong way. So then next we see Keisha, and she's just looking in the mirror, and she's looking at herself like, damn, this dude really raped me. He molested me. Like, am I even worth it anymore? She's just looking in the mirror at herself, and she doesn't even recognize the person standing there. And this is just sad, man. So then next we get to Nina and Dre and Keisha. They go in Keisha's room because she's vacuuming. Dre heard her vacuuming from out in the dining room. She's like, man, what's Keisha doing? She never be running a vacuum. So they go in there, and she's running this vacuum. You know, she's probably just doing this to keep her mind off things. They think it's kind of weird, but you know, she's gonna be doing weird things for a while since she just got home from a kidnapper's house. So they can expect weird things around the house. Next we get to Nina and Dre, you know, and they're kind of apologizing to each other and whatnot. It seems like Nina keeps saying to Dre, like, you don't need to be telling me how to handle this. You know, this is my daughter and everything. and it seems like Dre keeps doing things that Nina doesn't like, and Nina's just like, you need to be asking me before you do certain things. And there's just a lot of tension between the two of them right now, because there was tension when Keisha was gone, but now she's finally back, and they don't know how to deal with this situation since Keisha is finally back. It just seems like it's taking a toll on everybody in the house. So then Keisha's friend comes over. Dre invited her over, and Nina's just like, damn, you should have asked me first. So her friend goes in the room with Keisha. They're just talking. She's like, I'm glad you ain't dead. They start talking and chatting, and her friend's like, I can braid your hair for you if you want. At first she says no, and then she's like, nah, it's cool, just do it. So they're talking while she's trying to braid her hair, and she's like, man, people were talking when you were gone. And Keisha wants to know what was said. And apparently people were going around saying that Omari was her side piece, that she was cheating on Nuck, and just a whole bunch of different things. And she's pissed off. She's like, man, why do people talk like that? Like, none of this is true. And it just seems like the whole town is talking and making up rumors about Keisha. It's kind of messed up, man, because shit like this really be happening. Like, she was missing and she got kidnapped. Like, people don't need to be going around making up rumors. This girl is traumatized, and this right here is gonna make her even more upset. Like, this is messed up. So she gets frustrated with her friend, and she tells her to get out pretty much. So then she's sitting in her room, and she's just thinking to herself, man, she's just going through it. And you can just tell she's staring into space. She's staring at the walls and stuff. It just ain't normal right now. It seems like Keisha's just not gonna be the same. So then we get to Nina. She's knocked out, She hasn't been able to sleep good ever since all this started. It shows Keisha walking by. She's going to the bathroom. Then we get to Nina, Dre, and Kevin in the kitchen. And Nina tells Kevin that he can have Jake and Papa come over there because she told him that he couldn't leave to go to their house. So it seems like Kevin already had them waiting. These fools was already in the hallway. So Jake and Papa come up in the house, and Papa's just like, damn, man, I'm glad Keisha's back. God really does work. I was praying and everything like that. So they come in the house, and then they go in Kevin's room, and they just start talking. They just start talking about how thankful they are that Keisha's home, and the boys just kick it, man. So then we see Jada come over with Emmett, and it seems like Emmett brings a whole bunch of food. He's in the food business. He cooked up a whole bunch of food to bring over for Keisha to celebrate her being home. Emmett and Jada come in the house. Emmett goes in Kevin's room, and he's with Papa and Jake in there. Before Emmett comes in, he backs up in the room. He's like, man, before I come in here, you ain't doing nothing you ain't supposed to be doing, are you? Because last time it was pretty awkward when you was doing what you was doing. So then Emmett came in, and he's like, man, I told you to use cologne, because he smelled all that weed they were smoking. They were smoking out the vape pen and everything. Kevin asked Emmett if he wants some, and he's like, no, I like to know what I'm smoking. So then, the boys, they just chatted up and everything. Emmett asked how Keisha is. He asked if she's sleeping, and Kevin's like, no, she's not sleeping. She's probably just staring at the walls. So at this point, I'm just thinking like, yeah, Emmett's definitely about to go check on Keisha, because Emmett has always had feelings for Keisha. So then we get to Nina, Dre, and Jada. Jada's in the kitchen doing her thing with the food. Nina and Dre are at the table eating salad and everything. They're all talking. They're talking about Jada, how she's dealt with girls that had trauma before and stuff like that, but she's never dealt with anybody like Keisha. But she has dealt with people that have got molested by their boyfriends or whatever like that. But she said this particular situation is new and different for her. But Jada is definitely probably going to try to help Keisha in the future. Then next we get to Emmett. He goes and knocks on Keisha's door. She comes to the door. Emmett hugs her, you know what I mean? And she actually lets Emmett hug her and touch her. So then Emmett comes in. They start talking. He's just like, damn, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad I finally laid eyes on you, but now I'll leave you alone. I just wanted to know you was okay. And she's like, no, you can stay. They keep talking and everything. They catch up, and that's pretty much it for this scene. And then next we get the boys again. They're in the room playing the game, getting high as hell. They're just talking with their silly asses, normal conversation that the boys always be having. And Jake's pretty much saying like, man, I know you ain't smashed Gemma yet. And Kevin's like, how you know what I be doing? And just a whole bunch of stuff they were saying in this scene. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, the boys was just kicking it in this episode. It showed the boys a lot in this episode. And I always told y'all that I really feel the boys' storyline. I love when they show them because they the best part of the show. Next, we get to Dre and Jada, and they're talking in the kitchen. Jada asked Dre how her marriage is doing, because Dre and Jada, I guess, were friends before all this. And Jada's like, I hope it's doing good because last time I remember you was asking to sleep on my couch. And Dre pretty much just tells her that, we're working on it, but I wish my straight friends would have told me how hard marriage is. So then next we get to Emmett and Keisha again. And she's like, you were really worried about me? You was thinking about me? And Emmett's like, hell yeah. So, they're just talking once again, and they're just catching up. Emmett's making Keisha feel better, and I really love this scene. Even though Emmett gets on my nerves, man, for the decisions he be making, like he be messing up a lot. But in this episode, I was feeling how he was comforting Keisha. He was really there for her in her time of need. So I really like that about Emmett. We can talk about all his other dumbass decisions later. Emmett pretty much just tells her, like, I wish I wouldn't have messed up when we was together because we still might have been together. I kind of like Emmett and Keisha's vibe, but, Emmett's too sloppy, so I just think it's in Keisha's best interest to stay away from Emmett, to be honest. Now, next we get to the boys again, and they're just in there smoking away, man. Kevin and Jake are high as hell. And at this point, Papa's just like, screw this. And I think he starts smoking with them because he ends up getting paranoid and everything. So I think he was smoking with their ass. Then we get to Nina and Dre in the bedroom. And Nina's pretty much just like, do you know what it's like to feel violated? And Dre says no. So I assume Nina's got violated before in her past. And if so, that's crazy because she knows exactly what Keisha is going through. Now we get to Keisha and Emmett again. It showed them a lot in this episode. They're laying on the bed, vibing, just talking. And Emmett tells Keisha about his business, how he's taking over Sonny's. He already told her about how he smashed Dom earlier in the episode, and he doesn't know what to do about it. He doesn't know if he should tell Tiff or whatever, and Keisha was just giving him advice. And in this scene, he was telling her how Dom knows her way around the kitchen. And Keisha's just like, I bet she does. And the two of them start laughing. They're just vibing, and I really love seeing this. Now, next we get to the boys again, and they're just in the room. All three of them this time are smoking, man. All three of them are high as hell, you can just tell. And they're just talking about whatever, man, vibing. And this is exactly what Kevin needs right now, to be with his friends and laugh about things so he doesn't think about what happened to his sister. Because in this scene right here, he says how he feels like killing that MF. But he's like, oh, he's already dead though, so it is what it is. But he just wants to kill Omari over again. If he could bring him back to life and kill him, he would. Now next we see Emmett giving Keisha some of the food that he brought, and she's like, damn, I ain't gonna be mad at this. She starts smashing. He's like, I knew you were hungry. So, she's enjoying that food. And then next, Papa and the crew come out, and Papa's like, don't mind if I do make a plate. So they all make a plate and start eating and everything. They're all sitting there at the table. And then Keisha's just like, man, why didn't y'all try to find me sooner? Why didn't y'all find me? And they all try to explain to her how they all was looking, and they were worried sick about her. Because she says how she was literally right down the street from them, and they didn't even know. But for real, what were they supposed to do? Papa even tells her like they went to a trap house and everything looking for her. Kevin's like, man, we did everything looking for you. And he was like, I almost got killed looking for you. But then Kevin gets in an argument with Nina. They're going back and forth. And then Kevin's just like, why don't you tell Keisha how you was packing up her things? And then she's just like, wow, really? And then she goes in her room. The next thing you know, you see Nina going in Kevin's room because he goes in there, he starts throwing a fit or whatever. She's trying to talk to Kevin. He's handling this his own way. It might seem like he doesn't care, but he really does care. He just wants Keisha to be back to normal. But I feel like he needs to go and comfort her. Like, he's not comforting her the way he should be. He's taking it out on everybody. He's literally snapping on everybody. Like, he's that mad about what happened to Keisha. I understand Kevin's pain, I really do. But he can handle it a different way. He really can. Now next we see Jada. She's talking to Keisha, and she's pretty much just asking her how she is. You know, she's telling her that she's gonna get better, and Keisha's like, how do I move on with my life? What do I do? And they're pretty much just talking, you know, vibing. Jada is trying to get Keisha to feel better. She's trying to help her move to the next step, and she's helping her through this very difficult process. Then next we see Keisha. She's in the bathroom. She got a towel over her eyes. She's just meditating. You know, she's just in there probably thinking. That's her safe space. Then next we get to Nina and Dre answering the door, and it's Ronnie. And Ronnie's like, Keisha asked me to come over. So then it shows Ronnie and Keisha talking at the table, and they're just talking about the situation, and Keisha's like, I had to kill that dude. And Ronnie's like, you did what you thought was right. And she was like, you know, I always thought about getting out of Chicago, but now I can't. He's all I seem to think about. And Ronnie tells her how Chicago tends to grab a hold of you and never lets you go. And you know, they were just talking at the table, and Keisha says how she's so grateful for what he did. She tells him thank you, and he's like, nah, I should be thanking you. So she's like, for what? And he said that she gave his life meaning. And this right here, man, this made me happy as hell, because Ronnie has been looking for this feeling for the longest, and his grandmother would be so proud of him. Seriously, he did such a good thing in the world. He had to make up for Coogie's death, and he even said that to Keisha in this scene. He was like, I took a life, so I know what it's like. I know how you're feeling. You know, you took Omari's life, and I know exactly how you're feeling. So he made things right, man. It might not make up for everything that he's done, but this is a start. So next we see Keisha go in the room, and she grabs all the things that she thinks is like slutty in her mind or whatever, like a whole bunch of bras and shorts, and she goes in the bathroom and starts burning it. Now Nina sees the smoke under the door. She comes in and she's like, what are you doing? She tries to turn the water on to put the fire out, and Keisha's just like, no. Keisha's like, what if he really did grab me because of what I was wearing and everything? So she's thinking the way she was dressing had a lot to do with it. Then next we get to Nina and Dre. They're getting ready to take Keisha to counseling. Kevin's just sitting at the little counter eating, drinking his orange juice and everything. So they walk by, and Keisha walks out. And then we see Keisha outside with Nina and Dre. She has her coat on. It looks like it's very cold outside. Keisha just stands there, and then Nina and Dre come back to her. They're just like, are you ready? And she's just sitting there staring, and she doesn't know if she's ready to go to counseling. She doesn't know if she's ready to do anything. So even though she made the next step and went outside, she still doesn't know if she's ready to do anything. And I don't even blame her, man. It's gonna take some time. It really is. And it's gonna take hard work from her, and her family's also gonna have to help her in every way possible. So I just can't wait to see what happens next, man. This whole episode was kind of slow in my opinion. It wasn't better than the last episode, but I wasn't expecting much anyways. You know, I knew this episode was gonna be about Keisha and how she copes with everything. But yeah, man, it was a solid episode. It was just kind of slow, and it took place in Keisha's house the entire time. You know, Emmett, Jada, and Ronnie came over, but it didn't show anybody else. It didn't show Duda, Trig, or nobody else. So, you know, it was kind of slow, but it was also still a solid episode at the same time. I really enjoyed it, man. It was definitely a good episode, though. I love seeing how Keisha is dealing with everything, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. I can't wait for the next episode. As soon as I see the previews for the next episode, that What to Expect video will be dropping. I'll be continuing to bring you guys more of the Shy content in the future. If you guys want to donate to the channel to help support the channel, I got links in the description to do so. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you can never miss a video. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. It's your boy Futuristic Mike, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.